Hello and welcome to the Pool Information for Reopening meeting today, February 10th, 2021. It's 7:30 on the dot. And I just want to welcome you. My name is Monica Tierney. I'm the Director of Parks and Recreation. And along with me today, I have Lynn Todd, the Operations Manager for the Parks and Recreation Department. And
Hi, everyone.
And we're just going to go over the pool opening plan as we have it today. There's going to be a variety of different opportunities for the public to get involved along the way until we open on opening day, which is May 29th. I'm going to share my screen with you. I have a few slides to share. So I believe I am live there. So this is a series of things that we promised we'd go through as we were opening. We've done a number of things already. I presented to the Board of Supervisors last year. In January, we did a survey at the beginning of the year and for the residents and potential members of the pool or past members of the pool. We also did an information meeting for our staff. Any information that we have from those meetings, say slides or anything like that, they're all on our website for your viewing pleasure on the community pool page. So please feel free to pick through that. We also have a new fact sheet, which we'll be reviewing tonight, and the survey that we did available on that page. So today, just to talk a little bit about what we'll be going through, I did post an agenda. However, we did change the order of things today. We're going to start with a timeline. We're going to go over the survey outcomes and how we use them. We're going to go over the FAQ sheet we created based on feedback we were getting. And then we're going to open it up for questions at the end. And I hope to be able to answer all of your questions, but if I can't answer them today, I may have to get back to you at a later date. Okay, so let's go ahead and move right into the survey here. So I'm going to go over the timeline that we proposed to the Board of Supervisor. Now, please keep in mind, we have a number of timelines going, and this is the one that is community specific. We have our maintenance timeline, we have our hiring timeline, we have our marketing communications and our registration timeline out there too. So there's a lot of things going on at the same time when it comes to planning for the pool. So as you can see, going through this timeline of key dates, we did survey all members. We made it available through social media on our website. We also made it available through email, both through Community Pass and Constant Contact. So those are the avenues in which we provided the information for the survey. I understand that some people may not have been able to participate in that first survey, but there will be a second survey coming up, or we're always willing to take your communication. You can email us, communitypool@lmt.org. You can speak up tonight, dial in with the number that's at the bottom of your screen. And we look forward to hearing from you. We really do want to hear what your concerns are. On the 13th, we did an all call for our staff, both past staff and current staff and soon to be current staff, hopefully. And people were able to ask questions that they had concerning to COVID protocols, that type of thing, what the hiring process was going to look like. And we even gave some tips for maybe someone who's going to get a first-time job and what we're looking for. We opened registration on 25th. Actually, registration is much higher than it has been in the past. And I think that's due to the fact that people think that they want to get in first just in case. So we'll go over that a little bit later in the presentation. And then today we are meeting you for this information session. So moving forward, the discount period will end on the 5th of March. Also in March, and this is very important, Bucks County is providing us with new guidelines based on the vaccinations in our area. So the guidelines that we have right now, based on 2020 data, now we're going to have new guidelines. And I imagine around that March-April timeframe, we'll see new updated guidelines from a variety of different avenues. Now there are guidelines everywhere, federal, state, county, but we just really want to make sure that we're doing things right for you in the community, and we're following all the guidelines that are put in place for us. Then after these guidelines come out, which we will make live and public for you and accessible to you on our site, in April, we're going to do a survey, April 25th. We'll survey all members. You'll look for that survey information this plan to you on the 10th and open up for more questions and be able to address a lot more about programming and masking and more. How we have to, keep the pool at higher chemical levels. So we'll be able to give a lot more information. And then tentatively on the 27th, 2 days before we open, we have scheduled a league day. Now, this is something we were planning for last year. It answers two things. One is many times the different leagues have asked us to have some kind of exclusive day where they could come in and use the facility. I've never wanted to close the pool for members to be able to invite an entire league into the pool. So this was kind of a solution that we were going to do in 2020. Now this serves even more greater purpose. So a league day would be a day that the leagues also, they'd get a day, but also we'll be able to train our staff and, well, not necessarily train, but vet out everything that, from entrance to exit, the user experience, just to make sure that everybody's ready for opening day and on point and good to go with all the COVID protocols. And we'll be able to work out any kinks on that day. So we're really hoping that we can do that. Right now, it's a very tentative date, but we are hoping that we can work with the leagues and be able to still have a league day. On the 29th would be opening day. So that's the biggest day. We're very excited to open up to the community and get ready and get moving after the closure last year. So moving on to, we're going to move into the survey outcomes. So this was exciting to see. This is all the way in January, and we could say 77% of the 839 responses say yes, they're ready to register, they're going to register, I feel confident. And 20% were undecided, and the remainder were absolutely no. And that's how people were feeling, and that's a nice snapshot of January. And when we were making our decisions, we were kind of feeling that would be the outcome. So we're grateful to see that right now as an outcome. We were estimating at approximately 80%. We came out 77% positive yes. So that's great news. Now, we hope that we can make you, the undecided folks, feel a lot more comfortable with our thoughtful decision making as we move forward. So let's go through some of the other survey outcomes here. I just included this. I didn't include everything in the survey, but the entire survey report is on our website, accessible to you. So please make your way through that if you'd like to see more information about what people's concerns. slides with you too, but I'll make sure to, okay. Can you see the whole slide now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for that, Kirk. I appreciate it. So it should kind of, this gives you a gauge of our age brackets of people who participated in the survey and their family members. So you can see there's a lot of family, you know, some young adults, mid-range, a lot of those swim team. And then we have the 55 plus group, which I can't really consider 55 a senior, but the seniors are grouped into that, that group there. So I'm going to move on here. This was interesting to us. We had you rank all of the amenities on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being really important to you, 1 being less important to you. And we took an average of all of the answers for each amenity, and we shared that with you here. Really most important was the snack bar to everybody. And I am working with the vendor of the snack bar to get that open and compliant with the county guidelines so we can move forward with the snack bar. Next would be slides, diving board, and lap swimming. Now, if we were to open with a 2020 guideline, slides and diving boards would likely not be open with those 2020 guidelines. I'm thinking for the new guidelines that we may at least be able to open the diving boards, and we'll take a look at the slides. I am waiting on those guidelines to make some of those decisions for at least what the beginning of the season will look like. Lap swimming, we plan to do by reservation. So we are planning on doing lap swimming as you know, as it stands now. So we asked for other, just to see what else would be important to others. So some of the other trends we're seeing, both with other amenities and additional questions, are on this list. So I could tell you for sure the use of the restrooms and the showers, that's going to be available. We are going to be paying attention to numbers in the restrooms and the showers. We're still waiting for guidelines adjustments, but likely we'll have someone assigned to the bathrooms just to make sure that they don't get overcrowded at any given time. I can tell you that our restrooms, our main restrooms, did get a new HVAC installed in this last year, so there'll be much better ventilation in the bathrooms this year. The cleanliness of the bathrooms, that will be addressed a little later. Walking lanes were also important, water aerobics, tables, chairs, umbrellas, baby pool, the swim and dive team, shade structures, and cleanliness and social distancing. So what we did is we took this survey along with a lot of the other feedback we're getting by phone call or email, and we created a FAQ sheet, or a frequently asked question sheet, that we put out on Friday, and that is also available on our website. So it came out by email, and the link was also available on social media. But so I'll go over some of those frequently asked questions today. Hopefully I can address a lot of your questions off the bat, and then we'll have a question section where you all can call in and ask questions, or please feel free to email us or call us and ask any questions that you might have from here. So one of the frequently asked questions are guests allowed? I am going to say at this point, at least at the beginning of the season, that guests won't be allowed. And this is because we want to make our priority our members, and we don't know how guest numbers are going to affect our overall regular numbers. So we want to get a snapshot of what the pool actually looks like in a regular day to determine whether guests are something that would be feasible. Is this something that could be added later? Yes, it could potentially be added later, but we just really want to see what our membership base is like, and make sure that our members are able to get into the pool before a guest would be able to get in the pool. So right now, as of today, I'm going to say right now that guests will not be allowed, at least in the beginning of the pool opening. Will you be cutting memberships off at some point would be the next question. And we're getting this a lot. Actually, our registration is almost double of what it normally is at this time. And I think it's because people are afraid of this. It is not our intent to cut membership off. We plan to run. Now, what we've been doing is looking at our past trends and times that we were at our highest based on weather and programming. And we're trying to schedule our programming in a way that the crowding wouldn't be as much of a problem. And we can talk a little bit about that a little bit further. And then there's another question later down the line that will address that too. Oh, it's this one. Will you be required to register for times? We're really trying not to register for times. We really don't want to do this. We think it'll require a lot of manpower and oversight. What we are trying to do is some kind of alert system where if we're reaching capacity, we would let our members know either on the web, through social media, or by phone call. So make a phone call before you come, check the web or check the social media to see where we are if we're close to capacity. We're looking at a couple different programs to be able to do this, some kind of alert system. We haven't pinned it down yet, but we're getting closer on a way to do that right now. But it is definitely our goal not to have you register for times. The only thing that I will note that you will have to register for times is lap lanes. If you want to book out a lap lane, we will have you register for times for that. Will COVID-19 policies be posted in writing? I can say absolutely yes, 100%. We will post our COVID-19 policies, and we plan to communicate as we have been with you regularly about how things are going. So we will post these as soon as we have them in place. Again, it's way too early for us to post them because we have not received the 2021 guidance or guidelines at this time. But as soon as we feel comfortable with the policies, that they're going to be solid policies and they're not going to change, we are going to put them, post them, and make them available for you. We'll also have signage up throughout the facility. So stay tuned on that one. What are the cleaning protocols? So this is something that's not going to change. No matter what, we're going to have heavy cleaning protocols because I can't imagine that this is going to change. And we were already trying to make this better before. So we understand that there had been some cleaning issues prior to COVID-19. What I'm going to tell you is there are a number of things that we've been through in this last year. We've been working with the risk manager at our insurance agency, Divot, Delaware Valley Trust. He's helped us come up with some trainings for our staff. We've developed a risk management protocol that has checklists and tick lists for all of our staff, and then follow up for our management team. It's going to be all hands on deck for cleaning. So everybody is going to get training for cleaning, and everybody's going to work as a team to make sure it's clean. We're going to bring in a professional to clean the bathrooms in particular once or twice a week, deep clean. And then our staff will do it regular throughout the day. And we are planning to close the pool once a day, every day at the same time, so that we can do a deep clean from end to end of the pool every day in the middle of the day. We have not set a time for that yet, but that is our plan. That is our intention, to have a time where we can just shut everything down and clean from end to end. As far as the frequently asked questions, we're going to continue for the last 5. Our masking protocols. If we were to open the pool today with 2020 protocols, it would be your mask in every busy area, and to include the bathrooms when you're going up for food, in and out of the facility. But there would be family areas where you would have a assigned space for your family. And in that area, you wouldn't have to have a mask on. And while you're swimming, you wouldn't have to have a mask on. So we would space those sections out around the facility to be able to accommodate that. Will vaccinations be required? I have to say no. We can't require vaccinations at this point. We don't even know if the vaccinations will be available for the other groups. And we don't know if our staff will be able to be vaccinated in time. I can't require vaccinations when we don't even know if that's going to be fully available for everybody. So I can say no to that. Can the discount period for residents be extended? I'm going to say no to this because this discount period is exclusive special period for residents. What I am going to recommend, though, is if you're on the fence, get a membership now. Use the discount period. Get the discount. And if you decide at any time before the pool opens that you're uncomfortable and you don't want your family to go this year, then you can pull out. You just write us an email. It has to be in writing that you want a full refund for whatever reason or purpose, and we will give it to you, no questions asked, up until the day we open. So you can get that refund up until the day we open. So I would suggest taking advantage of the discount period now, even if you're on the fence, and then you can get that full refund. If not, you can choose to wait and pay the extra amount. That would be up to you, but you do have that availability. The next question is, will chairs and tables be available? Right now, the answer to that is yes. Yes, there will be chairs and tables available. We are planning to have some cleaning protocol for that. So there will be chairs in certain sections and family zones. You can't move the chairs and tables to wherever you want. They have to stay in place. When you leave, there'll be a cone available to you that you'll set on top of your table or chairs, and we'll know now that that's a dirty, contaminated area. And not that you're all dirty and contaminated, but we want to make sure that we're clean, and that will call our maintenance staff over that they have to clean that area and get it ready for the next family. So we're likely going to use some sort of cone system for this. And that's something that we got in one of our consortium meetings that worked very well at some of the other facilities. So we're going to grab that from them and apply that here. And then what type of programming would be offered? I'm going to tell you, I can't answer that fully at this point. What I can tell you is that at least the swim team will be in at least for practice at minimum. We're trying very hard to be able to offer some kind of swim lesson. And I know water aerobics was very important to some. So we're looking at everything. It's all going to we're going to have to see how the schedule moves and flexes and spacing and time and how we can operate things. So we're looking at everything as of today. If we went with 2020 guidelines, programming and meets and special events are completely off the table. You can't do that. So I'm thinking with 2021 protocols, we'll have a little bit more flexibility, but I'm waiting for those to be able to determine what we can do moving forward. So now I'm going to open it up to you for questions. I'm sure there are some things that I haven't covered, or if there's some clarity that anybody needs. I'm here, Lynn's here to answer any questions. Kirk, do we have anybody on the line?
We have no public comment.
Kirk, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it open for a few minutes, if you don't mind, to see if anybody wants to call in and ask any questions. And if not, we'll close out today. And you'll see on the screen, you can email us, communitypool@lmt.org. And we look forward to hearing from you. All right, Kirk, I think we can wrap it up for today.
Actually bringing Sarah in right now.
All right, that's great. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. How can I help you? What's your question today?
So I had two questions. There was a comment made about, if you're a Lower Makefield Township resident, is the discount period, even if you're not sure, you can always write. And then if you say you would like your membership money back before the pool opens, you will get that. Does that also count for non-residents as well? So we're not a Lower Makefield Township resident, but we've been members of the pool and are considering joining.
Well, for non-residents, there's no discount period. So you can...
No, I know that, but I'm just asking, would we get our money back if we decide before the pool opens that we're not comfortable with coming to the pool?
The refund policy stays the same for both.
For both residents and non-residents, then?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then my other question was, it wasn't clear to me whether you were limiting membership this year at the pool. Are you considering cutting off at a certain point, or not at this time?
No, not at this time. Based on our past trends and, the number of people who are saying they're not interested in registering, and the way that we're going to change the schedule around to accommodate, I think there's no need to cut off membership at this time. So but that's not in our intentions or not in our plans.
Okay. And then I guess I have another question. There was a comment made that you're considering or probably closing down the pool to have like a deep cleaning at a certain point. And about how much time do you know that would that entail, and how disruptive would that be? Like if you're at the pool or if you're going to the pool, how long would we be forced to be out of the pool for that?
It's going to be likely going to be a 1 hour closure. So we'll close at a certain time every day. So you'll know in advance. It's never going to change. It's always going to be the same. So before you come, you'll know. It'll likely be in the afternoon. We're thinking around nap time.
Okay.
We're kind of looking at that time frame right now, but it'll probably be about an hour, and I'm not sure what time. I'm trying to look at all the variables before I put something out there. But right now we're looking maybe sometime afternoon, nap time, 1-2 time frame. But whatever it is, it's going to be the same every single day. So you know what to expect.
Okay. And are you extending hours of the pool then? I know you used to not open till, I think it was noontime because there was other stuff going on in the morning. Do you think then the pool hours will be extended and you'll be running earlier in the morning till the same time at night?
We're looking at extending hours. I can't guarantee it right now, but we are looking at extending hours to fit more programming and more user groups in at different time. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. As soon as we come up with a good schedule and we hear back from the county on what programs we can offer, that'll give us a better idea on what we can and cannot do.
Okay. And then it sounded like you weren't going to be doing like any timed entrance or anything. You would kind of see how things go. I'm asking only because there are only certain times and days that we can actually go to the pool. So if it's all of a sudden going to become more limited, it would be difficult probably for us to be able to do that.
We're not going to have, it's not in our intention. It would really be our absolute last resort to do some kind of reservation system. To be honest, we just want to do an alert system. So say you're thinking about coming, call about a half hour before, check the website about a half hour before, and you'll be able to see where we're at as far as capacity, decide whether you want to come or not that day. That's
okay. Our guidelines right now saying still like 50% capacity. Is that what you're going on at this point?
I think they, to be honest, I don't remember exactly what the capacity is. I'm waiting too much for the next year's capacity. But I believe it was about 50%.
And do you know how much 50% would be for the pool?
Well, we have a couple different things that we have to look at with our pool because we have the different sections too. So each different section has a capacity, plus the entire facility has a capacity. So if one pool looks like it's filling up over another pool, we would have to make decisions based on that too. So I can't give those exact numbers. I know, Lynn, you have our total capacity. Do you have those accessible to you right now? I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
I did not bring those with me this evening.
If you wanted to send an email to us, we could put that out, or I could post it live what our current total capacities are.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for calling in, Sarah. I appreciate your question.
Thank you. Take care.
Yep. We're going to be bringing in Michelle.
Sure. Thanks, Kirk. Hi, Michelle. You press *6 to unmute your phone. Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Good. I have a quick question. I'm one of the people that usually sits by the lap lanes.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like some sun, but then I like to move my chair under a tree.
Mm-hmm.
You said no moving of chairs at all?
Yeah, we're going to have chairs set out. As of today, that is what we're looking at, is no moving your chairs around, just to make it so that they're the proper spacing required by the county and all the recommendations that we have to do.
Okay. All right. And then so it's like I usually get there in the morning and I usually hang out all day on the weekends. Is that going to still be possible, or am I restricted, like you have to leave after a certain time?
Well, we are going to have the closure every day in the afternoon for cleaning. So that'll be 1 hour long. I don't know what time that's going to be for certain, but it will be a closure of 1 hour where we're clearing out the facility, we're cleaning the facility from end to end, and then we'll reopen again.
So you have to physically leave the facility then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's all I needed. I appreciate your time.
No problem. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, bringing in Sue.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, hey, Sue, how are you? Can you unmute yourself? Press *6 to unmute your phone. Hi, Sue.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi. The woman before me just asked. I'm fine, thank you. The woman before me just asked the question that I was going to ask, which was, do you have to leave the pool when it's closed, when you close it for cleaning?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you, Sue.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're bringing Marcia in now.
Marcia?
Hi, thank you for taking the question. And I apologize if it was already asked because I got cut off from watching the Facebook live on this. But just a quick question on, you had mentioned there's going to be like family areas with tables. Are those like assigned, or how does that work if we want to get a family quote unquote area?
As of today, it's going to be first come, first serve. So we'll have little areas set out. And once you set your stuff there, that's your spot. And then when you leave, you'll put the cone on top of your table and then you're all set. We're trying to make this as uncomplicated as possible.
Do you have a sense for how many of those you'll be able to accommodate and in what areas of the pool they'll be accommodated?
We're going to have them all throughout the pool. I can't tell you right now how many because we don't know what our capacities are going to be allowed to be.
Right.
But I'll have a better idea of that, I would say, in March timeframe, how many spots. But it would be enough to cover the amount of people who would be in the pool.
Okay, wonderful. And I guess last question, just with regard to COVID, is there any protocols for contact tracing, or if there's an alerted, case in some way?
We're still working through that. I can't answer that question right now. I wish I could. We're still working through, how that would work with our staff, both in the staff side and public side. There will be something in place where we work with the county, but how we're going to alert the residents and when we need to alert the residents, that isn't fine-tuned yet.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much for your time.
No problem. Thanks, Marcia.
All right, Joe's coming in now.
Hi, Joe. How are you? Can you unmute yourself? Press *6 to unmute your phone. Hey, Joe.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. The question might have already been there, but as far as what time do you open?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a non-resident that we registered. Would we be able to bring grandkids?
At this time, no, because we're doing no guests, unless if you want to register them as individual members for the season.
Okay. And the other question is, you mentioned something about tables and chairs. Are they first come,
First serve, yes.
first serve, or do you call and reserve them?
They're going to be first come, first serve. There'll be family areas set out, and once you pick an area, that's your spot. And it's all going to be on a first come, first serve basis instead of registration.
Okay, and are all the pools going to be open and still be heated as normal?
All of the pools are going to be open. We do have heated pools. I don't know if there's going to be any restriction on temperature because the temperature could affect something. I don't know. So I'm just going to wait and see what the new protocols are. I know chemicals are going to change. I'm not sure if our temperature has to change.
Okay, and one last thing is the scheduling as far as when you're going to open and also when you're going to close and what time close. Is that going to vary throughout the season, or are you going to come up with a schedule that you can follow daily?
We're trying to come up with something that we can follow daily. Now, there's different parts of the season where we aren't open for a full day. So those times, so the end of August and the beginning of the season before school is out, will probably be similar. And then the main bulk of the season. We're trying to make a schedule that's very easy to follow and very readable and as much the same daily as possible.
Is that something that you get off your website, or are you going to have schedules that you can pick up at the pool?
We're going to do a mixture. We'll have some at the pool,
Okay.
We'll have it on the website, we'll send it out by email. We'll post links on our social media. So we're really trying to make sure that the information, everything is just being fed out there to everybody for you to see.
Okay, good. That's all I had. Thank you very much.
Yes, no problem, Joe. Thank you.
All right, bringing in Sherry now.
Okay. Hi, Sherry. Are you there?
Yeah, hi. How are you? Thank you for taking my question. So I am a single, and I come after work pretty much every day, and then sometimes on the weekends. So you're saying there's going to be some family areas, but I just generally I would take a chair that's on the outside of the pool area and then pull it into the grass in between the three pools, and that's where all the kids run around and play. So what's going to happen in that circumstance? I'm not going to be able to take the chair and put it all on the grass instead of being by the cement?
Well, there will likely be chairs in this grass because we have to spread everything out. So it will probably be a chair there. I understand by the lap pool, there's more individuals. So we'll likely think about that in our placement of the chairs and spread them out separately in a different way than we do in some of the other pool spaces. So, Sherry, I imagine that there's probably we're going to be using that grassy area to lay chairs out to spread everybody out.
Okay. And my other question was, because I didn't fully understand, as of the protocols right now, if you're lying on your chair, you have to have your mask on. Is that correct?
When you're in your spaced out zone, your area, so once you pick your chair and you're laying down, you can have your mask off.
Okay.
But when you're walking
all right.
public spaces and all that stuff, you have to have.
Yeah. And I missed what you were talking about with the other gentleman, something about programming.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to be doing that DJ stuff and having the I don't know what you call them, the activities in the pool with all the kids and all that. Is that right?
More than likely, probably not the big programs. We're talking more just trying to get in some of those other amenities that people like swim lessons, water aerobics, some of those things. As of today, I can't foresee, and actually it's against the guidelines for 2020 as a whole to have any kind of the big programming. Now, will that come back in the future? Yes, and people are really receptive to it. But what we see from our numbers in the past years, those are our busiest days. That attracts the most people. We get, so we can't imagine running those at this point.
I would agree. They are your busiest days. Do you know if chlorine kills COVID?
Well, I can tell you that there's no proof or evidence that there's transmission of COVID through water, through chlorinated water. So I imagine that it does kill COVID, and we have to keep our chlorine levels very high. So please expect that this year. I think was it 0.5 parts per million? Am I saying that number right, Lynn? Do you remember? To 10 parts per million.
I'm not sure about the exact, but it is parts per million.
Usually it's around.
So it's going to be higher than what was normal, but your standard.
Yes, it'll definitely be higher than our standard. I believe they even say as high as 10, and usually I believe 3 is about the normal number that we want to be at. So just tell you the difference of what it's going to be like to what they're requiring now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And will there be additional meetings, or whatever you're calling these things?
Yeah, we'll have another information meeting May 10th and another survey. I can't remember the date of it, but it's in April. We'll have another survey out to all the members. And the reason we're waiting so long is because we're waiting for the guidelines in March and the feedback from April to have another live meeting. So we have more to go over with you. But as much, Sherry, please check your email, social media, the website, call us for any information as things move forward. As we learn more, we're starting to develop things and get ready to give you more information.
Right. Okay. I don't do Facebook, so I had to. I mean, I'm on it now, but it didn't work all the time. Like sometimes I couldn't hear what you were saying. But I do have one additional question. Say I am a single, but I do have a husband and a child, but they're probably not going to come. And if I decide not to be a member this year, will I then have to re-register?
Like sign up for a whole new account?
Yeah.
No, your account will still be live. It'll be active.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your time this evening.
Yes, no problem. Thank you for calling, Sherry.
All right. Good night.
Yes, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, bringing in Ray now.
Thanks, Kurt. Hi, Ray. You can press *6 and we'll be able to hear you.
Hi, Monica. This is Ray. I've been a member for several years. I'm a senior, and I just have a question or two about the lap lanes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. What's your question?
Okay. Okay. I saw in the FAQs that there'll be registration for the lap lanes. Would that be available online, say, ahead of time on any particular day?
Well, we're still working out the logistics. I imagine we'll do at least like 24, 48 hours before each day, maybe even a little bit more. And we're going to do it through Sign Up Genius just to keep it nice and simple. If you don't use the internet, we'd be able to help you in the office sign up for a time. So say you're not internet savvy or you don't use social media or any of the things, we can help you if necessary. But yeah, it'll probably be through that program. And as far as how far out we're going to go, we won't go the whole summer out. We'll probably maybe like a week at a time or 48 hours.
Oh, sure. As long as it's available ahead of time, so that if I just show up, there might not be times available. That's all I was concerned about. Also, will there be two people to a lap, or are you going to limit just to one person a lap, given the COVID?
I believe, if I'm correct, and correct me if I'm wrong, Lynn, I believe it's okay for two right now. There's certain rules about it, but I'm waiting for those new protocols to come in before I say that firmly. I want to see what the county and the state, everybody's saying about this year and how they feel about it and how things went last year, that kind of thing. So we actually, Lynn and I have a meeting tomorrow with the state. It's the state consortium for aquatics, and I'm sure this is something that'll come up tomorrow.
Okay, that's all. Thanks for all your hard work, and I look forward to the season.
Thank you, Ray. We look forward to seeing you.
Okay, bye now.
Bye.
We have no further public comment.
Okay, well, with that being said, if anybody has any questions, please email communitypool@lmt.org with your questions, or you can call us at 267-274-1110. Thank you. Have a good night. I appreciate your time.